we're still slightly delayed here. So thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're not decided whether or not you're tuning in, I really appreciate the consideration here, as always, on Black Spring. So I just have a couple of liners for you on this segment. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Well, we'll see. We'll see if we can make it through this segment. I'm hearing a lot of things about lags and not so favorable things going on with programs around the spectrum. So we'll see what happens here. Let's see. Or this might turn into a moonlighting stream test at this rate, because we have an incredible lag that I've discovered in this just a few seconds ago. So first thing I want to do is show you, I may cut out some of the bells and whistles on this one just really quickly. So first and foremost, I have two lines for you. One line consists of the Rockefeller Foundation basically forecasting massive food shortages or food supply shortages. And the other one, it would be the Apple workers at New York store call for a minimum wage of $30 per hour. So I kind of want to get into those. So let's go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for coming in. Alrighty, so I am back. Thank you so much for tuning in if you're out there. So let's go ahead and get started here. So I found it really intriguing that the Rockefeller Foundation would weigh in. It's so funny that the elite themselves are doing all of the talking about what's going on. And I don't think most people are paying attention. I think you guys might find that to be true. We're going to get in and out. And nobody gets hurt. Hi, Philip J. Turner. Nice to see you. It's been a lifetime. As well as Tina Hardman. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you as well. Thank you so much for coming in. So we're going to jump right into what I have. We're going to jump right into this one. And then I have something to show you. You may find it at your local Walgreens that you're going to be doing some things that you haven't done before in order to access certain products. So we're going to go right there. A little bit grainy on the screen here. I think our bandwidth or whatever, I think everything is getting a little bit shakier these days. And it's not the first time I've heard that. So we're going to go really quickly right now to the liner that comes out of, it's going to come out of Zero Hedge. So we're going to go there right now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I will share that screen with you. So we're going to start with the Zero Hedge. Okay, so here you go. We got a little bit of you're already getting a taste of the lag here. And it's really it's pretty gross. In fact, it is. So you'll bear with me on that. Okay, apologize for the delays there. Okay, so let's get with this one really quickly here. So according to this is Rockefeller Foundation president starts countdown until all hell breaks loose. Now, this is under their penmanship, Mr. Tyler Durden, the character, I presume. Rockefeller Foundation president Rajiv Shah told Bloomberg's television David Weston a massive immediate food crisis is on the horizon. Shah provides what could be a timeline for the next global food crisis that could begin, quote, in the next 6 months. He said global fertilizer supply disruptions caused by the Russian invasion of Ukraine would have a, quote, even worse, end quote, impact on the crisis, slashing crop yields worldwide. Shah said debt relief and emergency aid for emerging market countries are needed to mitigate the effects of the food crisis. Shah's appearance on Bloomberg It's interesting because of the foundation's repetitive talk about the need for global food supply to be reset to a more sustainable one. The foundation has closely aligned views with you guys guessed it, the World Economic Forum, advocating for a global reset. So let's see if we can pop this one in. I'm hopeful that I can get this to play, but maybe this is just it's a faker. Okay. All right. So we're not going to be getting that to play. So hang tight just a second here. I hope this doesn't get big enough to form its own website here. So we're going to just kind of back out of that. Let's see. All right. So we'll go back into that. But, it's around someplace. May be able to, actually, the interview is here. It's according to this, it's an entire, should forward to 3430 if you want to get the bits on this situation. So I clicked on the wrong thing. That's user operator problems, okay? Not not this system here. So according to this, WE founder Klaus Schwab famously said in early 2020, months after the virus pandemic began, quote, "The pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and to reset our world to create healthier, more equitable, and more prosperous future," end quote. While Schwab and other global elites have been calling for a global reset, Rockefeller's Foundation Managing Director of Food Initiatives, Sarah Farley, has echoed the same message. Farley's note published on We Forum's website titled, quote, "How to Reimagine Our Food Systems for Post-CV World," end quote, outlined the need to, quote, "redesign supply chains with nutrition and human health in mind," end quote. Rockefeller's Foundation Senior Vice President of Food Initiative, Roy Steiner, recently said, quote, "The world is spending far too much on foods that are bad for people and bad for the planet," end quote. And what could Steiner likely be referring to? Yes, possibly cattle farming, and how it uses massive amounts of natural resources such as water and feed to produce meat. WEF has advocated the need for the global food supply to inject insects into human diets. Shaw's timeline for the next food crisis is an ominous warning that elites will use the events as a perfect opportunity to implement their plan to begin the transformation of the food supply system. Meat becomes a delicacy for the rich, while the working poor are stuck eating insects and berries. The Great Reset is well underway. So let's tap the button here. We'll just hear. I don't know if you guys want to. I don't know if I can stomach any of these fine elites. I don't know. Maybe we'll just get a tiny little clip here because I only have one more for you. And it says we could start this little interview at 34:30-ish to avoid, I guess, dribble. Sorry, I tried to be poetic, but it didn't work out. So almost there. So 34:40, okay. We'll go with the recommendation. So here you have Rajiv Shah. Just like a minute of this.
Balance of Power on Bloomberg Television and on radio. This is Balance of Power on Bloomberg Television and Radio. I'm David Weston. Food insecurity was one of the main topics of conversation at the IMF World Bank hearings this week in Washington. And we now have Secretary of Treasury Yellen, calling for a summit, actually, to deal with the issue of food insecurity. Welcome now somebody who's working very hard on this and has been for some time. Is Raj Shah, president of the Rockefeller Foundation. So, Raj, thank you so much for being back with us. I should say Dr. Shah, actually. I should show the proper
just
respect
soup it up even
but
more.
give us a sense of where we were on food insecurity before the Ukraine war.
Well, thanks, David, for having me. And, you're exactly right. Before the Ukraine war, it was a very bad situation. 810 million people were in a condition of hunger around the world. The poorest countries in the world, the developing countries, had only vaccinated 15% of their population. Unlike rich countries that were able to provide 20% of GDP as part of stimulus and recovery, those countries did 2 to 3%. And as a result, their growth prospects, more people have been pushed into poverty, 240 million people pushed into poverty. So the baseline was already a crisis. And then on top of that, Russia's invasion of the world's breadbasket, the World Food Program buys 40% of its wheat that it distributes to those people experiencing hunger from Ukraine, really compounded that. And now we're facing a massive immediate food crisis in many, many lower income parts of the world. And what more people aren't talking as much about is I actually think the fertilizer crisis, where you have farmers all over Africa no longer using fertilizer because it's not available. 20% of it came effectively from Russia, is going to lead to an even bigger food crisis this summer and this fall. So it's a tragedy that was not the making of these countries, but they're the ones that have to bear the brunt of the burden.
Well, it doesn't look at the moment like Ukraine is going to get resolved anytime soon. So what can be done about it? Is it a matter of money? What needs to be done?
Well, here's the good news. The good news is we actually experienced this before multiple times, especially in 2007, 2008, and we know how to respond if there's enough political will. The first thing you have to do is fully fund the World Food Program and do some emergency actions like pre-positioning food in places where our predictive analysis tells us there's going to be hunger over the next 6 months. Those are strategies that have been done before and have worked in the past. The second.
Okay, I just want you guys to hear a bit of that, and shout out to Philip J. Turner for his own initiatives on planning and creating self-sustaining resources, which I think is more than admirable and more than necessary at this point. But they have all the answers. They got all the suffering, all the human conditions. They've got all the answers, and there's this problem, and then there's this problem on top of that, and then there's the all occasion Russia, devil, and then everything just keep going back, pointing to the same thing. So of course we'll keep an eye on these things, and for those of us that are really paying attention, if they're giving you, if they're saying 6 months that this massive thing is anticipated. What do you guys think? And of course, you feel free to put that in the chat. What do you think what's more realistic to you? Do you think it's actually sooner than that? Or do you think it's, longer than the 6 months that this Raj is talking about here? So, I know you guys all have your background information or your background, opinions about the Rockefellers and their foundations. It's always, all these people have the same, all in the name of humanity. These people, are speaking up, and he was pretty hasty on the actual, pretty hasty about mentioning the CV and what percentage of these countries have been mocktailed. Okay, they put that's first and foremost. You got to put that out there because they must. Yeah, you got to put all of the main things out there to begin with. So we're going to actually move on from that. Just about podcasts. That's 3 months. Thank you very much. Just about podcast. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So we're going to take him out, but I want to show you guys something else that I ran into recently, and we're going to stop sharing that just for a second. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to what I call the segment of Have You Seen This? And maybe you've seen it already, but let's check this out really quickly here. We're not going to be very long on this moonlighting stream, but I would like for you to see. Let's see. Hopefully I'll get this right. Oops. Nope. That is not the right one. So we'll remove that one. So hang on one second here. I'll get the right one here. Yeah, I think I'm just thinking when they say one thing, we usually have to, we'll have to figure it out, get our own timetables together. Make sure. So I'm a little bit rendering here, but we'll fix that up ASAP. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here. So I'm going to share another screen. So I don't know if you've seen this. Let's just stop sharing that one altogether there. Okay, I'm not sure if you've seen this, but I don't know. I'm going to attempt to read you the caption I'm going to attempt to read that to you. Okay, yeah, here we are. All right, guys. So this is the Have You Seen This segment of Black Spring with Autumn. And if those of you are familiar with this show, here we go. I'll give you a full screen here so if you can pick up anything. Hi, DJ Vision Barnett. A little chippy. Okay, so what I'm on about here is okay, I'm going a little bit fast here. So what you can see here, these are actually refrigerator doors that I experienced at Walgreens, if you will. And on these particular refrigerator doors, you are given instructions on how to operate these actual doors. So we'll see what you guys think. So according to this, they've got a lovely message for you. It's right at the top here. So I'm going to skip to the next page. As you can see, you have your fine spirits and all this stuff in here. You know, whatever you drink. You know, I'm not advocating for. I'm not for any of these, but you have all these things here. But if we go back to that page, if you want to buy any products, which they're probably marked up like 200 or 300% when you go into actual Walgreens or whatnot. But according to this, at the very top here, as you can see, you have a privacy by design with a great check mark there. And it says the message is, we believe consumers can experience the benefits of digital technology without compromising privacy. Cooler Screens never seeks to identify individuals and never gathers or uses any personally identifiable or linkable information, thereby fully preserving privacy. The consumer experience is our priority. All right, guys, I don't know what you think about this, but this is very par for the course. If you ask me that, are you guys able to see this? Okay, very well. This situation is you have to, what it says actually, it says wave your hand to speak. So if you have to wave your hand, what do you think they have access to? Your actual hand, your handprint to me is more like is possibly a scan. It says wave to speak. So if we zoomed in here, I don't know if I'm successful with that. However, if you can see here, you see there's a microphone here, a microphone-ish here. And it says wave to speak above that. And there is a little bit of a camera right there. So you will be able to, they are going to be able to get some form of a screen of your hand. So I think everybody's handprint is quite unique. I think almost as unique, I think, as DNA and that kind of a bit. But I'm just saying, this is what you might experience if you go into a Walgreens, and who knows who else is going to start carrying these things, where you're going to be communicating some way with this. So I figure, okay, well, if you're not collecting any information, why are you even there? Why can't people just reach in and grab what they need? And see, I think that they're basically preparing you for the chip, because eventually the chip, you'll wave that and then you're in, right? Or you'll already be ready. You won't have to they'll eventually eliminate, I guess, the camera, because they'll have all the screens and whatever that they need. So yeah, that part. Shout out to Derek C. Williams. Thank you so much. Derek C. Williams says, if you let Yuval Noah Harari tell it, surveillance will be under the skin. He also says, therefore, that sounds like microchipping and some type of biometric technology. Absolutely. Yes, I agree, Derek C. Williams. Right. Yes, that's exactly what I'm on about here. I'm thinking that this is softening you up. Yeah. This is softening you up for what's to come. So, you're getting the training wheels version, I guess. And then eventually they'll take the curtain down, I guess. And then you get the real business there. Okay. All right. And we have one final ticker for this evening. Okay, and then we're going to get out of here. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. And thank you, Old Head Deuce 22. Thank you so much for coming in. So let me go ahead and share this next piece with you. Angry says, can I be quiet? I'm sorry, but I can't. I'm getting us in and out. Nobody gets hurt. Okay, so let's go on to what the people of the Big Apple think about, you know, their pay and all. We're going to go there right now. Actually, it's more like the unions are running the roost. And I wanted to get into some things with the mayor of Chicago. I wanted to get into that, but we might save that for another time. So let's move on. Let's mosey on over. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this segment. So I'm going to be ready to share that with you. I mean, honestly, I could probably do a whole segment on Chicago right now with the teachers unions and Lightfoot running again. And what can I say? Is anything new under the sun? I mean, I can't make this stuff up, nor do I have to. I don't have to make it up. I don't have to work that hard. I really don't. I can just rely on the Apple workers at New York store calling for a minimum wage of $30 per hour. So what I'm going to do is, let's get into that just a little bit. I was going to save that for another evening because this is a Moonlight stream. To put it out another time. Really appreciate you guys so much. So let's have a look at this particular story. Now, this is the thing. Now, my issue with this is, of course, if you go to $30 an hour, what do you think that's going to do? I mean, that already outpaces most people that have experience, much less. You talk about people with college degrees. Some people have worked most of their lives and have never made $30 an hour. But these people in New York, the Apple workers at New York store called for minimum wage of $30. So this is the antithesis, or very much to the contrary of what we just saw, right? We just saw what's coming. We've seen gas stations with no attendance and codes on the end of your receipt so you can access the restroom. So we're going to go from that to this demand from our progressives. They seem to be running the roost. $30, right? $30. Okay. The group is also seeking better worker benefits, which is going to send everybody to the house. Okay. All right. So you can see this is in fact, I have never been to the Apple store in New York City, and I don't have any intentions of going. But as you can see, it's all, vaulted ceilings with the forbidden apple. Okay. I'm going to keep going. I'm going into symbolism there, but I'll leave that to the fine-tuned experts over at Uncool Paranoia. And a new friend from the network there. So according to this, Apple Store employees attempting to form a union at the company's flagship Grand Central Terminal location in New York City want the tech giant to pay workers at least $30 per hour. According to CNBC, the group leading the effort, Fruit Stand Workers United, made the request on Monday in an update posted to its website. Quote, for pay, we seek a minimum $30 for all workers built upon a matrix based on role, tenure, and performance, end quote, the group said. Quote, for benefits, we seek more robust changes like increased tuition reimbursement, faster accrued and more vacation time, and better retirement options, including higher match rates for 401k and enrollment in pension plans. Ooh, pensions. Have you guys heard that in a while? According to the Washington Post, the first outlet to report on the Grand Central Terminal unionization effort, Apple pays retail employees between $17 and up to $30 per hour, depending on their role, experience, and location. Quote, we are fortunate to have incredible retail team members, and we deeply value everything they bring to Apple, end quote, the company said. Quote, we are pleased to offer very strong compensation and benefits for full-time and part-time employees, including health care, tuition reimbursement, new parental leave, paid family leave, annual stock grants, and many other benefits, end quote. Organizers with Fruit Stand Workers United recently began collecting signatures from their workers. If at least 30% of the approximately 270 eligible employees at the store express interest in forming a union, the group can file with the National Labor Relations Board to hold an election. At least 3 other stores are attempting to form a union, according to the Post. At the start of the year, Apple announced it would offer additional benefits to all of its U.S. retail employees. As of April 4th, the company expanded benefits include increased vacation and sick days, paid parental leave, and more. Like many other retailers throughout the pandemic, Apple has had a tough time hiring and retaining frontline workers. Over that same period, the company's retail employees have complained of difficult working conditions, including issues with low pay, stressful workloads due to staffing shortages, and poor morale. Okay, so this is at the bottom here. I guess to me, I'll call it a footnote. All products recommended by Engadget are selected by our editorial team, independent of our parent company. Some of our stores include affiliate links. If you buy something through one of these links, we may earn an affiliate commission. How lovely is that? An affiliate benefits, right? All right, guys, I really appreciate you guys for coming in on this 11th hour stream, but I felt a little bit compelled to come in, and I've got a whopping number of people out there that want to talk, that are talking amongst themselves. And I appreciate it. It's always healthy, right? It's always healthy conversation in this. Elon, you ain't wrong, Musk. Hi, yeah, nice to see you. Latina Pro Constitution. I appreciate you for coming in. Let's see. She says that's ridiculous, forcing the company to pay them all $30. I'd fire them and say I'll hire the illegals. Biden hollered into the country. Okay. And Philip J. Turner, #songs, strawberries coming in fresh right now. Very nice. Very nice. Well, we wanted to talk about hydroponics. You know, we wanted to do something close to that in a prepper's potluck. Is what we kind of wanted to do that, or either BS. We can do that BS style. For those of you who don't know, well, you know, somebody can tell you about that. Joseph Francis Burton says, "Fire them all. Put all Apple products in vending machines." Yeah, kind of like proactive, right? Keep them on, put them on ice, right? Okay. Hi, Independent Menu United. Nice to see you. Phil J. Turner, #song says, we have to turn America back into a producing nation or we're doomed. Never rely on others for our nation's survival. They turned America into a consumer nation only, not a producer anymore. Well, I really appreciate you guys so much. Let's see. I'm just for kicks. Let's do a little bit of gritty politics just for a second here. I can't really resist. I'm going to show you a clip of this Lightfoot. It was pretty entertaining. It looks like she's rocking some new things, or at least some things I haven't seen. I haven't been following Chicago as much, but I do know that the teachers unions are doing their thing, and you know, it is what it is, and it's not what it's not. But every day is Groundhog's Day in many of these instances, so I've kind of backed off of those. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little peek over at this is her in a press conference, and see what she has to say. You know, she's pretty okay. And, now that it seems like the press corps has a little bit more grit, or I don't know, a little bit more gumption than usual. At least not in a long time they haven't. So I'm going to share this screen with you guys. I really appreciate you guys so much for coming in. All right, so let's go here, and I'm going to give you full scale. I know you don't want to miss this. Okay. All right, so this is yours truly, Mayor Lori Lightfoot of Chicago. Okay. So I hope you can see that, and let's go ahead. We're going to go with this. This is 47 seconds. I hope you're sitting down.
Time you have a press conference, you say crime is down. The economy is booming.
Well, that's not true, but get your question, sir.
Across the street, we had a police officer on duty, the victim of a hit and run. We have Michigan Avenue, the Magnificent Miles, now referred to as the Mile of Fear. The water tower place has thrown the keys back to the lender. They say they don't want to be in Chicago anymore. Real Chicagoans are asking me, how could you possibly even consider running for re-election as mayor of the city of Chicago after all the harm you've caused?
Well, I disagree with you fundamentally, and I don't think I need to address any and dignify your comments 1 second.
Okay, all right. Is that? What do you expect, right? Okay, so yeah, so that was, Lori Lightfoot out of Chicago. So that's what you get. I'm gonna be honest. I gotta say, she's been true to form for a long time. Deflect. Kind of what they do. Even in Congress, like, I'm not gonna answer your questions. What are you talking about? Gaslight. Gaslight your press corps right on out. Right, is what you're gonna do. Or either gray rock them, right? Either gray rock or gaslight. Pretty much. She sticks to the script, so I gotta give it to her. Joseph Francis Burgess says, "Thank God she goes maskless to the hair salon." Okay, right. Joseph Francis Burgess says, "My hero, mayor, best mayor in the country." Okay. Derek C. Williams says, "A broke-looking female." All right, Derek C. Williams, I appreciate that. I really do. Okay. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take a quick little break here. Then we'll come and say salute to everyone. And we're going to get out of here on your Monday. It is. So we had a Monday Moonlight stream for you. Run a couple of, I'm going to be updating these commercials. And but like I said, everybody's changing their name so much that, I don't know, maybe you guys have, I tell you what, it'll be, just come up with some pronouns for your show, for your channel. Okay. And in that case, we'll be right back. Maybe pronouns are the way people are going. Signing off with pronouns. There's a pronoun app coming as well. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick one and we'll be right back. So yes, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I really appreciate it on this Moonlight stream. Okay, we're dealing with a little bit of a lag here, so we dealt with that earlier today, so we'll just keep going. It's kind of getting on a little bit fast. However, I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning into this segment. And I'm going to go on by saying, okay, Joseph Francis Burton, he says, "I dig the background music. It's like we are chatting at a house party." Yes, do that. Do that while we still can, right? Okay, so let's see. We'll finish that up there. A little bit crazy there. Okay, so from the top, as I say, from the top, we had Mr. It's been a long time. Nice to see you. Mr. Turner, Philip J. Turner, hashtag songs. Thank you so much for coming in. See, there's a change. There's a change. Yeah, there's a name change for you. And then Tina Hardman, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Who else do we have here? Disavowed Podcast. Thank you so much for coming in. DJ Vision Barnett says, hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Back at it again. He says back at OT again. At it again. Derek C. Williams, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. And then hello once again to Independent Many United. I really appreciate you for coming in. It's nice to see you. What else do we have? Disavowed says, when they tell you they're not spying on you, they're definitely spying on you. Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying. Like if you do your hand like this, you know, not like hip hop, hooray. That's not what you're doing. You're not doing a dance. You're not on hidden camera there for a music video, but you're getting, when they tell you it's about privacy, we can assume it's not. Old Head Deuce 22. Thank you so much. And Angry Conservative says, can you be quiet? I can hear you in Alabama. Good. You know, maybe you'll go and visit that gas station. I don't know. I forgot the name of the city. I had it once upon a time, but I don't have it anymore. But you know, we know the name of the chain. I think it's 24 Patriot Market. But then there are there are the auspices of somebody else as well. So hang tight here just a second. Latina Pro Constitution Americana. Thank you so much for coming in. And Elon, you ain't wrong, Musk. Yeah, I tell you, you guys are really twisting me up with these names, but I appreciate it, you know. All right, so let's see. What do we have? What's the town? Let's see. Patriot Market. It's in Lineville, Alabama. Lineville. So if you go to Lineville, you know, it's going to be as big as the GG Stones. The G Stones. All the G Stones. All right, Joseph Francis Burton, I thank you so much for coming in. We're going to come up with some house music to your liking, Joseph. We really are. And I appreciate you guys for coming in for this itty bitty moonlighting with Black Spring with Autumn. So you guys have a great rest of your, pretty much the great rest of your Monday. And I don't know. Make sure you, put a glove on if you're going to go and wave your hand. Wave your hand in front of that machine at Walgreens. And who knows? I think you're going to start to see more machines like that. Or next thing, go over to Denny's. Roll over to Denny's and see if Jenny comes out and says, take your food. You know, you won't have any human connection. You won't have to worry about the hair nets or popping gum or... You know, you won't have, not like the Mel's Diner, or you won't have those problems. You'll just have Jenny the robot and her busing bin underneath. So she can do all things for you. I really appreciate it. It's Matt Militant's here. How are you, Matt Militant? I appreciate you so much for coming in. If you're watching us in replay, because as a matter of fact, they have, those screens actually have kind of like frosted out the screens on those refrigerators. So, you know, you will just see the item. I don't know how it comes out, but you definitely have to wave your hand just to get access to that item anymore. So I don't know, maybe people will boycott it. Who knows? I appreciate it. Wait, Joseph Francis Bird says, I heard Applebee's is hiring Jenny the Robo Waitress. Okay. All right. I really appreciate it, guys. And we are going to be saying so long. Have a great rest of your week and a great rest of your Monday. All right, guys. Take care and keep your hands clean.